So friends, today I'm going to tackle one of the most difficult problems in the history of web development that has been plaguing web developers for over 2 decades now, and that is of course how to center a div. Yeah, you heard me right, I'm going to show you 4 ways to center a div both horizontally and vertically on the page, so let's get started. The first method, and probably the most popular with developers, is using Flexbox. We start by selecting the parent element, then adding a display of flex to it, which will allow us to change the position of the elements inside it. Next, we align the items to center, which will center the div inside its parent vertically on the y-axis. Lastly, we justify the content to center, which will center the div horizontally on the x-axis. The second method, which is probably just as popular as Flexbox, is using absolute positioning. First, we select the parent element and add the position of relative so the children are positioned relative to the parent. Next, we select the child element and set the display to absolute, which will let us control the position however we want. Then we move it by 50% from top and left, which pushes our div all the way to the opposite corner of the parent. Lastly, we move it back to the center by using translate with minus 50% for both values. The third method is by using the grid layout, which is the newest and easiest way to center a div. All we have to do is to select the parent element, then set the display to grid, and lastly have it place the elements inside it to center. This method is clearly the quickest since it requires the least lines of code. The fourth and last method is a bit more obscure, and that's because we use margins to center the div. We all know that using margin auto on the child element will center it horizontally on the x-axis. However, if you add either a display of flex or grid to the parent element, the auto margins will also align the child vertically on the y-axis, leaving you with a perfectly centered div. There you go friends, 4 of the best ways to center a div. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful, and if you did, please leave a like so YouTube knows what to do with it. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and consider subscribing to the channel to let me know that you would like me to make more videos like this in the future. Until next time, take care.